everyone, it's Jamie and welcome back to my channel. I am here today with another cross-stitch update. I think it's been like 2 weeks since my last video, and my last video was a whip parade, and I also did an update video that same day. And so I'm here with another update, which is like, yay, it's not a month, because it seems like for a while there it was like a month or two in between updates. So to start off with though, is update on my hair. As you can probably see that I have dyed it. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you wouldn't have seen that I did this to my hair. I had let the purple fade, and then I decided that it was time to get ready for fall hair, because you change your hair with the seasons, or at least I change my hair with the seasons. Some people just do a thing where like they'll be like, oh, it's summer, I'll go lighter, and then in the winter they'll just go darker, and I'm like, oh, for fall I will go orange or red and look like a pumpkin. I don't know. But yeah, so this is my new hair. Fall hair coming your way. Anyways, so on to cross stitch. So I'm going to show my projects in order of least amount of progress to most amount of progress, because there are a few projects that I only worked on for like one day, so they don't have that much to show, but I will show them anyways. So the first one is, which one am I going to show first? There is thread tangled up, okay. Is a stitch along that I am doing and I am behind on, which I hate being behind on stitch alongs. And it is the stitch along from Sleeping Luna Designs on Etsy, and it's the Lunar Princess stitch along. So it's like a Sailor Moon inspired stitch along, but obviously it's not called Sailor Moon, probably because you can't call it Sailor Moon unless you want to get in trouble, probably. And so here's where I was when I started working on it, and I only worked on it, like I said, it was like one day. And here's where I got to. I decided I would just stitch all of the black going around, and then I will fill in the colors after I finish the black. And I am stitching this on 28 count even weave that I dyed myself, 2/2 full cross. And I think that I have only finished 2 of the chapters, and there are 7 chapters that have been released, so I need to get caught up. Like I said, I don't like being behind, and this ends in October, so I would like to hopefully be caught up by October and then get it finished this year so I can get a whip off of my whip list. But I figure this is a good chart that I can work on. My kids are going to be doing distance learning this year, and I figure that once I get the black done, I won't have to do as much counting, and so this would be easy stuff to fill in while they're doing some of their school stuff. I mean, for one thing, they're going to be stealing my devices when they're doing school, because they will need to be doing like calls with their teacher, and I use Pattern Keeper on my Chromebook, and they are going to be using my Chromebook, so I will be Chromebookless 5 days a week in the morning, so that's going to be terrible. So I'm going to need something like this where I can stitch it just off of like my phone and not have to count as much. So that's what I'm thinking anyways. I don't know how distance learning is actually going to go. I have no idea, and school here doesn't start till September 8th, so I have a little bit of time before I will have to experience that. So the next thing that I worked on is Templar Prophecy by Long Dog Samplers. I worked on it one day when I went to my parents' house, because it's an easy project to take with me because it only has the one color, so I don't have to bring a ton of colors. And here's where I was when I started working on it. And let me fold it a little bit better because it's a mess. And here is where it is now. I am stitching this on 22 count fabric that I dyed myself. I used Rit dye in black, and I put a little bit of navy blue in, because the black is kind of a purplish black, if that makes sense. So I put some blue in to try and make it less purpley. And I am stitching it with DMC 666 using 1 strand. And I love this so much. So I stitched on finishing this part of the border here with those little spike things, I think. And then I stitched down here, and then there was like this little bird and the crown. So I love it. That was Templar Prophecy. And what else? let's see. Oh, I had one other project, and I only worked on this one for, it was a couple hours. There was one day I wanted to work on something where I wouldn't have to count, and so I decided I would pull this project out because you don't have to count at all pretty much. And that is Tarot Town 2 by Ciro Marchetti, and it's charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And I will insert here where I was before I started. And like I said, I seriously think I only did like maybe 400 or 500 stitches, and I was just filling in the black on the bottom. So I don't have to count basically at all. I can just basically stitch down these columns here and fill in. There's all this needs to be filled in with 310. So that was what I was working on, and I'm stitching this on 22 count Hardanger 2/1 full cross, which I don't recommend personally. I think it's too thick, but this was the first Haid that I started, and I did not know any better, and I did not know to test stitch. I just bought this huge piece of fabric because I saw other people being like, yeah, 22 count, 2/1 full cross, and then, yeah, I didn't test stitch. Lesson learned. And then after I started this one, I decided to move to 28 count and do tent stitch because I saw a lot of people talking about that, and that is obviously now kind of like my preferred fabric and doing tent stitch. So there was that. The next project I have to show is Mini Home is Where the Magic Is. It's artwork by Randall Spangler and charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. My goal is to have this piece finished by the end of the year, hopefully in November. If I do 300 stitches a day, I will have this finished in November, which is super exciting. And here's where I was when I started working on it. And here it is now. I am stitching this one Extreme Cross Country by Color. And I had originally started the chart working across just pages, completing pages as I went, so I had finished this top row, and I decided that I wanted to start color completing instead. So I did this like darker color down here, and some purples that were in this house, and I think I did around 2,000 stitches, so I'm on track-ish. I think I might be a little bit behind, but I can easily get caught up if I work on it a couple more days this week. So there's that, and I love it, and I want it finished. And the last thing that I worked on is a new start! After my last video, I decided that I would start something new because was my last video when I showed Castles in the Air finished? I don't know, but I've had 2 finishes. I had Castles in the Air finished. That was in July, so that wasn't my last video. And then I also had Alice finished. So I figured I should start something new, and I did. So I started Kingdom Hearts by, who is it by? The Cross Stitch Salon on Etsy. I think on Instagram she is the Cross Stitch Fanatic. So her Instagram and Etsy are different names, and on her Instagram she shows a lot of her things stitched personally, so that's fun to see actually stitched models and not just having to rely on Etsy pictures. And so obviously it's a new start, so there's nothing to show for previous, and here is where I got to on my Kingdom Hearts chart. So I am stitching this on 18 count Ada 2/1 full cross. I decided I would use 18 count for this because I liked the finished size on 18 count. If I had used 28 count, it would have been really small, and I wanted something bigger because I really like Kingdom Hearts. This is a Kingdom Hearts poster, if you didn't know, because I love Kingdom Hearts that much. This was from GameStop. If you pre-ordered Kingdom Hearts 3 at GameStop, they would give you a poster, and so I had to do it. It's like most people were probably just like, it's a poster now. It's like, it's a Kingdom Hearts poster I need. And so there's Sora there, you probably can't really see. And then it has Toy Story because Toy Story was in the 3rd Kingdom Hearts game. And I love it. So this is Riku. I decided I would start in the top left with him, and then I would work my way over to Sora and save him for last because Sora's the best. He's obviously like main character if you don't know or play the games. But yeah, so Kingdom Hearts one more time. I love this chart so much, and it's it works in Pattern Keeper, which is exciting. So I think I've done like 3,000 stitches and I love it. I think this chart only uses like 50 colors, which isn't that bad when you compare it with like Mini Home is Where the Magic Is uses like 80 colors and they're similar sizes, I think. So there's that. And that is everything that I have worked on in the last 2 weeks. I think it's been 2 weeks. And for my plans for next week is I want to work more on Mini Home is Where the Magic Is. I would like to do a little bit more on the Lunar Princess Stitch Along so I don't get even farther behind. And I don't know what else after that because I'm just kind of working on whatever I decide. So if I want to work on, you know, my Charting Creations Christmas thing, I'll do that. Or if I just want to do like Dear Alice, because I haven't worked on Dear Alice in a long time. I don't know. We will see. I almost wish I had done Arbitrary August and then I could have just spun a wheel. I mean, I still technically could just start spinning a wheel again because sometimes it's hard to pick when I love everything that I'm stitching right now. I don't think there's any chart that I don't really want to work on. So that is all that I have for now. Thank you everyone for watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I will see you all in my next video, which will hopefully be, I'm trying to think of what day it is. I'm hoping that I can do another video before school starts here. Like I said, that's September 8th, because then after that, I don't know what things are going to be like. I have 2 kids who are going to be doing distance learning. They are in kindergarten and 1st grade, which I'm going to say, I was expecting this to be like an amazing year. Like, my youngest is starting kindergarten, so I thought all of my kids would be in school, and that I would like drive them to school and then drop them off and be like, bye, and then go and cross stitch the day away. And no, now they will be in my house taking my Chromebook with my Pattern Keeper, and they will be doing live video. I don't know. It's gonna be weird. Yeah, and then my 6th grader is just going to do an online school, so he can do his schooling kind of whenever he wants. He could do it later in the evening, on the weekends, because it's just a completely separate school from our district. So that'll be interesting. Anyways, thank you everyone watching, liking, commenting, and subscribing. I will see everyone in my next video. Bye.